Hey, hey, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the best month of the year. Your season approaches. Spooky season is at hand. And we have a solar eclipse happening on October 2nd in your house of endings. Fitting as the seasons change, fitting as we move up to your time, right? The sun will move into Scorpio. You will be highlighted. You will be stepping into the spotlight. And as they say, it is darkest before the dawn. You can think of this time when the sun is cruising through Libra as you waiting behind the curtain, being backstage. It's dark backstage, right? So Libra for you, Scorpio, is the house of endings, unfinished business, the in-between, etc. So this would be a really good time to focus on what do I want to finish up, sweep out, literally declutter, donate, and metaphorically declutter, trash, etc. Old programming, old clothes, old dreams and desires that are actually now just taking up bandwidth and space that actually don't apply to me anymore, or etc., or I've brought to completion in some other way, or there may be things that I need to have some thinking time on, some feeling time on, so that I can bring them to a close and move on to what is coming up for me. So before we get to your season, it's a good time to end things on purpose. And you are the master of endings and rebirths. You are the master of going to deep emotional places, transcendent places, which are what the 12th house is all about. The Libra for you, Scorpio, because it's right before you. Anyhow. Also, hi, I'm Madeline. If we haven't met before, have we met before? I need to caffeinate further. That's what I'm feeling. Okay. Thanks for being here, Scorpio. Let's get into your cards. Let's see what's showing up for you in this magical month of October. What you need to know for your highest good, Spirit. We want to know the truth for Scorpio people, Spirit. Want to know where they stand and where they have stood. The point of reference, the past. Anything they need to know from their past as it's pertinent to the present and to the future that is still unfolding with all of their past and present choices, Spirit. From your loving perspective, Spirit, what do you see for Scorpio? What themes do you see showing up? And we also want to know how you see Scorpio themselves showing up. What aspects of them you want to highlight. And please show us where they stand, what the climate is around them, what's showing up, and how can they best navigate it to step into their authenticity, joy, fulfillment, abundance, ease, peace, readiness. Thank you. 2, 3. Perfect. Okay. Scorpio, Scorpio sun, Scorpio moon, Scorpio rising, Scorpio dominant people, 8th house and Pluto dominant people, Spirit. What do they need to know? Their highest good. Hmm. I'll pull one more. Thank you, Spirit. Of course, the moon is present here. Very scorpionic, very 12th house. 12th house is memories. You know what I mean? It's primordial. It's memories we don't even remember that we remember, like things that our body remembers. Do you know what I'm talking about? You have, it feels like, some grieving and some releasing to do. And some of you have carried something for a very long time that you may be able to let go of. Wow. Let go of in October. Curious how many of you have Libra placements. The devil also showed up in the present moment for them. Different arrangement of cards. Want to pull one more, Spirit. Thank you for showing us this. Please show me what is on the other side of this decision that Scorpio is making. Tell me more about the nature. You're putting an end to a fight. And I feel like you're putting an end to a fight that is like, for some of you, I'm hearing, if you haven't been here before, Scorpio, I'm an intuitive reader. So I'm hearing that for some of you, this is like ancestral. It's like I'm giving up the fight with my mother. And the fight with your mother has, for some of you, translated to the fight that you have within yourself and the voices within yourself that you fight that sound like your mother or your caretaker, your father, whatever. Again, for whatever guise the person who put voices and beliefs in your head that don't belong there, for some of you, this is like an ex-partner that was very like acrid and acidic and corrosive. And some of you have been living with and fighting those voices and things like that. And it's like, oh, I'm done fighting the voices. I'm actually ready to let them go. I don't need them around anymore. And I want to make it clear, Scorpio, I don't mean that like you're holding these things and being like, yes, let me hold on to all this. No, no, I'm saying things like that, especially when they happen to us at very vulnerable ages or stages in life, they can make their way in. It is literally like having a weak immune system and getting around somebody who has a virus. It's like we're going to get the virus if we're not, really well prepared for that. So there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing broken. There's nothing fucked up. It's actually very natural. But also, we don't want to stay sick. And yes, we say that, like, oh my God, you're so strong and everything when people are sick and they carry on. This is an emotional sickness that you are ready to kind of like purge. That's what I'm hearing and that's what I'm feeling. I know that's quite heavy. So, you have the strength, but you don't need to keep carrying this. That's just what I'm hearing. So Five of Cups sits in the present, clarified by the Devil. Feels like some of you, again, have something from the deep past that just never did get fulfilled. And some of us never do get the thing that we hope for. For example, some of us that didn't have a good childhood. It's like that never is going to like, oh, and suddenly I woke up one morning and then everything had changed and actually I had a great childhood. And so I'm not dealing with any of the, fallout from that or do you know what I'm talking about? It's like that happened, that can't ever be fixed per se. But I can take those overturned cups and I can fill them with other things, right? So that is what you're being asked to do. You're being also asked to face maybe the ways in which you hide from what's possible. And again, this isn't about blame, shame, judgment. It's the opposite. It's again, who made you feel like you didn't deserve? Who made you think maybe it wasn't possible for you, that it didn't happen for people like you, or people who have done XYZ in the past, and so they can never be happy because they don't deserve it. These are the things that I'm hearing. That's bullshit, okay? That's bullshit. Spirit loves everyone unconditionally. Spirit, like the sun, shines their love on everyone. Even those of us who have tried our best to creep into the deepest, darkest fucking shadows that we can find, the light of spirit, the light of love finds you. So you are never cast away and you are never exiled. You are always invited back in. And I think that some of you are giving up a petty, old fight and a trap. The fives in the tarot to me are tests, and they can be like traps. Like, where are my geriatric millennials at? Who has seen The Never-Ending Story? Spirit is showing me the scene where Atreyu, one of the protagonists of the movie, is trying to get his horse, Artex, to come through, is it the swamps of sadness? It's a literal swamp, and it makes you sad, and it makes you depressed, and it wants to drag you down into the swamp and get rid of you. And I feel that some of you are understanding that you can't necessarily drag this other person out of the swamp with you. And more importantly, that's not your job. We all have our own path. And you can have a hand in bringing light to people, in showing them another way of being. And Spirit is saying, show, not tell. You know, people are not usually led by great words, they're led by great examples. So, you pulling yourself up and out of the swamps of sadness, proverbially, may be exactly what that other person needs to see to be able to learn how to do it for themselves. So, you don't need to stand there and try to pull our text, okay? Okay. Sitting in the future, things get so much brighter. You are at a crossroads. This is a choice. This is not something that will happen to you. This is a choice you have to make. Two of Wands is sitting in the guidance position. It's a choice. Moving forward is a choice. Happiness even is a choice, especially when we've been unhappy. It's a choice to say, I don't want to live here in the swamps of sadness, even if it means I have to leave someone or something behind that feels ancestral. This family member or this tradition that my family held dear because, like, I can't do this. I'm leaving this religion, or I'm leaving this binary way of seeing sexuality or gender or whatever because, like, I need to fucking love myself, and I need to be around people who really love me. Justice, further clarified, had to match the trio of the present with the future. Judgment, the Lovers, the Ten of Cups. A decision to embrace your true self. A decision to love yourself no matter what. To be on your own side no matter what. And do you know how that frequency invites other people who will be on your own side no matter what? Not because you're perfect, but because you always tell the truth. That you acknowledge when you're being shitty. That you notice when you're starting to creep into your shadowy self, and you say, oh my God, you guys, I'm noticing I'm starting to creep into my shadowy self. Could I get a little help here? Can one of you bring a little flashlight of yourself over here so that I can see myself a little more clearly? Oh, thank you. Ooh, I thought I was going to get stuck in there. Ooh. Inviting people closer to you by inviting yourself closer to you. And happiness is a choice. And doing right by yourself and others is a choice. Ten of Pentacles. You have the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. People ask and beg and plead to receive one of these cards, not to mention both. Ten of Pentacles, the support that you crave, financial, familial, and family can be blood, family can be chosen, is available to you. Ten of Cups in the future. Ten of Pentacles already, it's out here. So if you think it's a dream, if you think it's impossible, no, it's out here. A feeling of family, a feeling of community, a feeling of foundation and support, and even legacy. But that is a choice. Hopes and fears, Seven of Swords. You hope and you fear that you can let it go. What will it mean about me if I let it go? Who will I be if I let it go? It does mean facing the unknown. It does mean refilling yourself with new and frankly better things. Don't keep your eye trained on the past, because you might get bitten if you're not looking at what's coming, okay? Sort through what needs to be sorted through and let go. And once you've let it go, like a true Scorpio, dead, done, buried. Okay? Don't need to go back and revisit. Don't need to dig it up and look at it again. And the key, the Moon. Not everything fucking makes sense. It's a good thing that you come through as the King of Cups. A deep roller. A person who is not afraid to go to the very deepest depths and knows that they can hold their center, even when they go there. You've been through many things because you're a Scorpio. Because you designed, you wanted to have the intensity of this exact, the truth of this experience, the raw truth of this experience. And there's nothing wrong with you that at times it gets too fucking hard. You're a courageous soul, okay? It's hard. And it's easier when we allow other people to be there for us and with us. It's easier when we choose to think that we deserve that. And you know who you are. You deserve that. I'm talking about you. Whew. I'm going to leave it there, Scorpio. I feel like I've given you plenty to think about. If If you want to ask questions, if you want to give me stories, feedback, comments on what you just heard, I would love, love, love. I'd really deeply appreciate hearing your experience and your reflections. If you ever want to get a personal reading, the ways to do that are in the box below. I deeply appreciate your time, Scorpio. Thanks for being here. And if I don't see you before then I hope I'll see you in your mid-October reading. Bye-bye.